It was Christmas Eve, 2002. In the quiet city of Modesto, California, holiday lights glowed softly across the neighborhoods. Families wrapping presents, preparing dinners, living ordinary moments that would soon be frozen in time. But on that cold morning, Laci Peterson, a radiant 27-year-old woman 8 months pregnant with her first child, was gone. She was supposed to spend the day baking cookies for family, walking her golden retriever Mackenzie through the neighborhood, and getting ready for Christmas morning. Instead, her husband Scott Peterson said she'd gone missing. The story he told would capture the nation and hide a truth so dark that even those closest to him refused to believe it at first. Laci and Scott met as college students at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. She was bright, outgoing, and kind. A California girl with a big smile and even bigger dreams of becoming a teacher. Scott was handsome, ambitious, and charming, the kind of man who made people feel at ease when he walked into a room. They married in 1997 and seemed to have everything. A new home in a quiet neighborhood, a dog, a baby on the way. To everyone who knew them, Scott and Laci Peterson were the American dream. But behind that perfect image was a marriage quietly cracking. The morning of December 24th, 2002, Scott claimed he left home around 9:30 a.m. to go fishing at the Berkeley Marina, about 90 miles away. Laci planned to take their dog for a walk and then shop for Christmas dinner. That was the last time Scott said he saw her. Hours later, a neighbor found Mackenzie the dog wandering the street alone, its leash still attached, mud on its paws. But no Laci. By evening, her mother Sharon Rocha called police. The family reported her missing, and the search began. The community rallied instantly. Volunteers filled the streets with flyers, boats searched the marina, and news crews set up outside the Peterson home. A pregnant woman vanishing on Christmas Eve. It was a story that gripped the nation. At first, Scott played the part of the worried husband. He held Laci's photo, spoke to reporters, said he just wanted her home. But something about him felt off. There were no tears, no panic, just calm answers and awkward pauses that didn't fit the moment. Detectives noticed too. Within days, police uncovered a truth that shattered the image of the perfect husband. Scott Peterson was having an affair. Her name was Amber Frey, a massage therapist from Fresno. They'd met in November 2002 through a mutual friend. Amber had no idea Scott was married. He told her he was single, that he had lost his wife. Not that she was missing, but that she was dead. He said it would be his first Christmas without her. He said that a month before Laci actually disappeared. When news broke that Laci was missing, Amber recognized him instantly. She called the police, and what she agreed to do next would change the entire investigation. Amber began recording her conversations with Scott for the FBI. Over weeks, she kept up the act, pretending to believe his lies while he spoke to her as if nothing had happened. The recordings were damning. Scott talked about taking vacations, starting fresh, living a new life. Not once did he mention his missing wife or unborn child. Public sympathy vanished overnight. The image of a grieving husband was replaced by a man living a lie. And detectives knew, whatever happened to Laci, Scott Peterson was the key. For months, teams searched the Berkeley Marina, where Scott claimed he'd been fishing. Sonar scans, divers, boats, nothing. Then came April 13th, 2003. A couple walking their dog along the shore of the San Francisco Bay spotted a body washed ashore. The next day, a tiny body of a newborn boy found nearby. DNA confirmed it was Laci and her unborn son, Connor. The nation held its breath. When news broke, Scott Peterson was already on the move. Police found him in La Jolla, California. His car packed with camping gear, $15,000 in cash, and his brother's driver's license. His hair had been dyed blonde. It looked like a man preparing to run. He was arrested on April 18th, 2003, and charged with 2 counts of murder for Laci and baby Connor. The trial began in 2004 and became a media sensation. Every detail was broadcast: the affair, the lies, the recordings. The prosecution painted Scott as a man who wanted freedom from marriage and fatherhood, a man who saw murder as a clean escape. They showed his boat trips, the purchase of cement anchors, and the striking coincidence that Laci's body was found exactly where he claimed to fish. Defense attorneys argued there was no direct evidence. No blood, no weapon, no witness. They said Laci had been kidnapped by strangers, but the jury didn't buy it. Amber Frey's testimony became the emotional centerpiece, a mirror reflecting Scott's double life. Her recordings played in court, her voice steady as his lies filled the room. In one call, as Laci's family held a vigil for her, Scott told Amber he was in Paris, listening to fireworks. He was actually at the memorial. The jury took 8 hours. Guilty. First-degree murder for Laci, second degree for baby Connor. In March 2005, Scott Peterson was sentenced to death. The verdict didn't bring peace. It brought questions. How could someone do this to the woman he promised to love forever? Laci's family attended every hearing. Her mother, Sharon Rocha, said, "I'll never understand how Scott could look at us, lie to us, and pretend to search for her while knowing what he did." Scott's supporters claimed he was framed, that the case was built on emotion, not evidence. But in 2021, after years of appeals, the California Supreme Court upheld his conviction, though his death sentence was reduced to life in prison without parole. Today, he remains at San Quentin State Prison, a man who once had everything and lost it all to his own choices. Laci's name became a symbol of innocence stolen too soon. Her family founded organizations to support missing persons and domestic violence victims. Her story inspired laws like the Unborn Victims of Violence Act, recognizing crimes against a pregnant woman and her child as two separate offenses. Every Christmas Eve, Modesto residents still place candles by the water where her body was found, a quiet tribute to the life that should have been. The Laci Peterson case remains one of the most haunting reminders that evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a husband smiling in a family photo, a man who plays the part so well that even those closest to him can't see the truth until it's too late. This is Mason Mysteries, and this is the story of Laci Peterson, a woman who brought light to everyone around her and a husband who chose darkness instead. If this story moved you, share it, not for views, but because someone out there might need to remember that love should never hurt. Subscribe to this channel, stay safe, and never ignore the signs, because every face hides a story, and some hide murder.